Hello and welcome to Weekly Weird News, brought to you by Cutting the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hey.
And we're going to do our Weekly Weird News. Let's see what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
Everyone alright? Everyone okay? Had a good week?
Yeah, man.
Been alright?
Usual shit, innit?
Hectic Mother's Day shit, but yeah.
Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there listening.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, World War III hasn't quite broken out yet. Yeah, saw the cusp, aren't we?
Well, it could have started already, we don't know, do we?
Right.
That could have been the
Behind the scenes.
torch paper.
Yeah, well, the Second World War arguably started in something like 1936 when the Japanese invaded Manchuria. You could argue that was the start of it.
I thought we established that was like a lot earlier, 31 or something, or 33.
Oh yeah, well whatever,
Yeah.
somewhere around that time. Who's to say, although the Ukrainians still holding out, and I've got a story about the Ukraine for Weird News.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. What a segue. Oh shit, ad block. Ad blocker detected. Fuck you, I can override it.
I dig the headline then. Colonel Yuri Medvedev is said to have suffered severe leg injuries in the attack because his own men ran him over in a tank. They drove a tank over one of their senior officers after their unit suffered a massive number of losses in combat against Ukrainian forces, according to officials in the West and Kiev.
I'll tell you what.
See, I said Kiev there, got it right.
Hey.
This war's just proved to me more than anything that fucking Russia are a spent force.
They're a bag of shit, aren't they?
Fucking logistical problems fighting a war on their border. It's insane. It's like us invading Scotland and say getting bogged down in Edinburgh in a fucking...
Because our tanks run out of fuel.
Yeah, it's madness.
It's a bit of an embarrassment, isn't it?
It is, I mean, and he spent 10 years trying to improve the Russian army. 10 years and hundreds of millions of rubles, probably billions. They've invested in them hypersonic missiles that, yeah, they're really fast, but they can't hit what they want to. That's why they've been hitting civilians.
Admittedly, all their money's tied up in nukes, innit? That's where their real power is.
Yeah. It is, but you know what?
Proved it.
I'm not sure they're going to fucking work at this rate, because everything that's breaking down and running out of fuel. When were they last fuelled? How many can they afford to keep fuelled at one time? That's a fact you've got to take into account. Because they can't afford to fill their tanks up.
Madness, innit?
And the fact that all our man-portable missiles are taking a heavy toll that we're supplying.
The Ukrainians wouldn't have held out without our help, I imagine.
No.
But still...
Yeah, the Ukrainian Air Force is still flying.
Is it?
It is. They're outnumbered 5-1, but they are still actually not winning the air war, but holding their own.
And the ghost of Kiev, does he fly?
Well, funnily enough, there was a picture of him, but he was flying his plane and he had his visor down.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was a selfie taken by a pilot in the plane of the so-called ghost of Kiev. I hope it is true. I really do.
Sorry, mate, I don't believe it is.
Well, Colonel Yuri Medvedev is said to have suffered severe leg injuries after the attack, which took place after almost half the troops in his brigade of 1,500 either died or were wounded in a series of clashes in the early weeks of the war. Some of the intense fighting the 37th Brigade was involved in took place in Makariv outside Kyiv, which the Russian forces have been trying to seize in an attempt to encircle the Ukrainian capital. Makariv has now been recaptured from the Russians by Ukrainian troops. It came amid Western and Ukrainian claims refuted by the Kremlin that between 7,000 and 15,000 Russian service personnel had been killed in action in the first month of the war.
That's a lot.
Not according to Russia.
Well, Russia aren't going to sell you that, are they?
I think we only suffered 14,000 the entire Iraq war, wasn't it?
We weren't even that high.
Wasn't it?
We Brits weren't.
No, I mean combined Americans as well.
No.
I think it was 14,000 Allied forces.
More Americans more than anything, wasn't it?
Probably not far off with that.
Yeah, you're probably not.
That's since the war began. That was over
20 years ago.
Yeah.
How many Ukrainians have been killed then?
Well, possibly double that, and
You could look at half of it, you could look at more than that. I mean, they've got civilians on the front line, haven't they?
yeah, a lot of civilians, of course. It's always the poor innocent civilians that fucking get it.
Well, they are defending their home as well from Russian aggression.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was less than half.
The defending side always has it easier, and they know the
their
turf.
land. Yeah, they know their land, and the Russians weren't expecting it. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. You're talking about bombs and things as well.
Yeah, but they've been quite good at not killing many people. They've been destroying lots of big buildings, but not killing that many people with the bombs.
The Russians, they've hit a maternity hospital, they've hit a...
Yeah, but they haven't killed many
They
people.
killed 400 civilians in Kyiv.
But for what they could have been killing.
The idea was the Russians were going to do a blitzkrieg in, weren't they? They were going to sweep in, take Kyiv in about 72 hours, and it hasn't worked. They've been bogged down.
Well, phase 1 has finished, isn't it? They've just said phase 1 has. They've finished phase 1. Those are his words. So what that means, who knows? They're wondering whether they're going to withdraw.
So the guy in the tank has just like ran over his own
Yeah, they've been like,
boss.
fuck you, you really fucked up in this, half of us are dead, and they've ran him over in the tank.
Fragged him.
Yeah, not the first time that's happened ever.
No, that happened a lot in Vietnam,
It
apparently.
did, yeah.
Well, but
And the Americans tried to suppress it because the soldiers were fragging the commanding officers. Yeah,
Yeah, because you're getting soldiers who've done 2 or 3 tours of duty getting stuck with a a lieutenant, straight out of West Point, who wants to make a name for himself in the dying days of the war, and all you want to do is go home. You got a glory boy running it, he wants to win his medal.
Yeah.
And you want to go home, he's
Not
getting
have-
shot in his first fucking patrol, isn't he?
Not having him.
Not having him put a grenade under his toilet seat.
Yeah.
I think soldiers are becoming less tolerant, aren't they? To, you know.
Someone making bad decisions and
Yeah.
getting your guys killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a sign that we can throw shackles off.
And rise up.
Defeat the oppressors.
In a peaceful manner.
Well, it can be done peacefully, yeah.
It's not going to be peacefully though, is it?
Hopefully.
Nah, it's not going to be.
Never normally is in the end.
No, it's not.
Because they never want to give up power.
Can you chest to the show, cat?
Chester agreed.
But the trouble is, if you have a violent uprising and takeover, it's normally the violent people that take power.
Yeah.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. You're back to having psychopaths in control.
Back to square one. But still, yeah. Russians are running over their own colonels now. It's not going well.
Nope. Moving on.
Moving on.
Microplastics found in human blood for first time. Yeah, I read this.
There's some good
Saw
news.
this the other day. Terrible.
Yeah. The discovery shows the particles can travel around the body and may lodge in organs.
Hey! If we're not nuked, it's going to be microplastics that kill us.
Yep, researchers are concerned as microplastics cause damage to human cells in the laboratory, and air pollution particles are already known to enter the body and cause millions of early deaths a year. Huge amounts of plastic waste are dumped into the environment, and microplastics now contaminate the entire planet from the summit of Mount Everest to the deepest oceans. And now they've been found in blood. 22 samples from anonymous donors, all healthy adults, and found plastic particles in 17. Half the samples contained PET plastic, which is commonly used in drinks bottles, while a third contained polystyrene used for packaging food and other products. A quarter of the blood samples contained polyethylene, from which plastic carrier bags are made. This shit's leaking into the fucking...
Water system.
Yeah.
I thought this
Is
was
that
weird news, not like highly depressing news.
It's
Pretty-
macabre
Pretty
too.
weird though, isn't it? You got plastic in your blood now.
It's not
Yeah.
weird, it's to be expected, I think.
Well, yeah. It is. We've just been dumping this shit for years. It's going to get. What did they think was going to happen? They think it
Yeah.
wasn't going to get in the food chain, the
They
water
probably
chain.
knew and covered it up.
Well, they
Lobbied
put those
against
little
it.
micro beads, didn't they, inside shower scrubs, didn't they?
Yes, they
And
did.
facial thingies. They all, micro beads are just a little bit of plastic
Yeah.
that abrasively takes a little bit of your skin off and then, reveals your freshness. But they're, going down the pan every day, aren't they? Still. I think they've been banned in this country, haven't they, Mike?
I don't know, to be fair, hopefully.
Yeah, no. What are you asking Mike for about skincare products?
The ban of microbeads, I thought, in a science officer, he might have come across that.
Yeah, he does anal beads.
They're still legal. Thank God.
Well, there's an uprising over that.
I would. Start a revolution over that. I would never take my anal beads.
So there you go, we're all going to get microplastics in us, if you haven't got them already. Coming to a body near you.
Right, owners abandoned a dog because he was gay.
Fucking hell.
Oh dear. Black and brown pooch Vesco is looking for a new home after his homophobic humans dropped him off at the shelter. He's been dropped off at Stanley County Animal Protective Services in North Carolina, and they're saying that the owners rejected Vesco after they saw him mounting another male dog.
Doesn't mean he's gay.
I know.
Dominate him, thick fucking bitch.
The shelter is hoping that someone will come forward to give Vesco a foster home while he waits for someone to adopt him.
I've got some good news on that because I read an update on this today, and Vesco has been adopted by a gay couple.
And they put
Obviously.
Good stuff.
So he's got a home now, he's been adopted.
He'll be wearing a rainbow bandana.
He probably will, let him be gay.
He's lovely.
Yeah, he's definitely a rotty, look at his stance.
Yeah.
Rotty cross a German Shepherd, I'd say.
His head's not as wide, is it?
That's a German Shepherd cross.
Yeah.
Look at the snout.
Yes, I'll go with that.
Beautiful either way.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'd have adopted him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's not gay behaviour. They're just
No,
dumbass
just
humans.
dominating.
Yeah.
Just dominating, that's
There's
what
it's a happy story, he's been adopted, he's got a home.
Yeah.
Because Ted, my dog's tried to get on my bitch a few times. She started doing it to him. Yeah, and it's got to be a dominance thing. He doesn't like it. But she thrusts her hips as well, just like he does.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Okay, Ben, this is for you.
Oh great! Tit for tat, a woman left partner's chest a bloody mess after cutting out the tattooed name of his ex.
Ah.
Oh, the court heard the victim sustained a 6-inch knife wound which needed 16 stitches. Well, those eyes are intense.
6-inch knife wound? Fucking how deep was she cutting?
No, it's not, it's across.
Ah, is it?
So if he's on 6 inches, she's ripping his
I know, yeah.
A woman has been accused of leaving her partner's chest a bloody mess after she allegedly cut out the tattooed name of his former lover. While police contend that Katja Risto Patterson, 45, is a serial abuser of partners, Newtownards Magistrates Court heard claim that her partner consented to his tattoo being cut out. Patterson from Spencer Street in Hollywood, County Down, appeared at court on Wednesday by video link from custody, where she faces a single charge of wounding with intent to cause bodily harm from November 30th. Previous courts have heard of the victim sustained a 6-inch knife wound to his chest, which needed 16 stitches, and when police attended the couple's home, he was sitting in the living room bare-chested and covered in blood. He initially told officers Patterson had stabbed him and is now suggested that with Patterson's assistance, he was trying to cut out a tattoo bearing the name of an ex-partner.
There's tattoo removal these days, yeah?
They can't afford that.
Just call the fucker out.
She's a serial abuser of partners, and the officer claimed, adding that the offences represented an escalation in her offending.
Sounds like a nut to me.
I'd say so.
But there's a lesson to you, don't ever get a woman's name tattooed on you.
Ever.
Nah, it's tacky anyway, innit?
Yeah.
It is.
Unless it's your child or something, then fair enough, but never your partner. It's just in case.
Yep. Sage words. Okay, next up, woman complains of UTI, scan reveals glass tumbler in bladder.
Did she trip and fall?
What?
The doctors at Habib Bourguiba University Hospital in Tunisian city of Sfax had to perform a cystolectomy to remove the glass tumbler.
Fucking hell.
Yep. She was complaining of urinary tract infection and was shocked to know there was a glass tumbler stuck in her bladder for 4 years.
It's a large bladder stone with a glass encased.
How the fuck?
She had UTI symptoms like leaking, requiring her to always needing the toilet, but a scan of the woman's bladder revealed a large bladder stone with a glass encased. The doctors said that the stone was a giant 8 centimetre wide that completely encased what appeared to be a drinking glass.
Wait till you read the next bit.
The woman's identity has not been revealed. What, that bit? According to the New York Post, the woman told doctors that she had used the drinking glass as a sex toy 4 years earlier. The report further said that she had inserted the glass tumbler into the urethra instead of the vagina.
Dear, oh fucking dear.
And there's a X-ray of it. You can
Fuck
see.
me, it's huge.
Oh no!
Shit!
How did she go around for fucking 4 years?
You could have just seen your little pee hole. How did she insert it?
Maybe it's some kind of fetish that got in her hand.
A lot of lube and a lot of gripping.
Surely she must have realised at some point in the procedure that wasn't pleasurable.
Oh my god.
You'd think so.
You don't
Makes me
stick
feel
anything
funny,
up,
that does.
You don't stick anything up there during sex at all. It's just it's your pee hole, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But she got it up there.
It's amazing.
Terrific,
Amazing
isn't it?
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with that one.
Finished on that one?
I'm done with that one, yeah. Next one,
We've
eh?
stunned Pete into silence.
I hope not, because you've got to do a story next.
I don't think I can.
And finally...
So, okay. A Spanish driver who ate hash cakes claims diplomatic immunity from non-existent state.
Fantastic.
So he's been eating hash cakes, pulled over by the police for driving erratically, fined €2,000.
That's a lot.
After failing to convince the officers he had immunity because he was a diplomat from an individual and mobile republic. Okay. Earlier this month, Guardia civil officers.
That's the police.
Yeah,
Spanish
police in Spain, in a region of La Rioja, or is that Rioja?
The Oha.
Oh, who knows? All the 28-year-olds pull over, noticing that his Volkswagen Golf was zigzagging across the road, and he was on his mobile.
She's like, yeah, bro, I just took a load of edibles. I'm going to you. I'm high as fuck. I think I'm driving incognito though, and he's just like swerving over the side.
Arriba, Underlay.
He gets pulled over. He goes, "I live in an individual and mobile republic, which is my car."
So once they pulled him over, he gave him his documents, to which he responded by showing him a driving licence and an ID card from the República Arante Monte Lorenda, wandering republic of yours truly.
That's
It
fantastic.
is. It's his car.
The force said in his statement, although the Republic bills itself online as individual mobile sovereignty recognised by other states capable of acting with complete independence of strict compliance and international law, the officers were not impressed by the documents or his claims of diplomatic immunity. So in other words, they were like, "You cheeky little twat." But I ain't buying that.
It's quite ingenious though, isn't it? The way
It
he's
is.
trying to get around it.
Yeah.
It's an internet community by the sounds of it. It's an online thing, so you sign up to be a citizen.
Is it like naming your own star? This car's my own republic.
You see, yeah, I'm a wandering member of this republic.
I've got my own flag.
Pretty ridiculous, really, but yeah, quite funny. Got to give the guy his due for the size of the goals he's got.
Yeah.
Especially with the Spanish
El
police.
Grande Cojones.
You got big stones.
Yeah, so there we go.
Why can't we have a wandering republic though? I like the idea. I love it. Oh well.
Write to your MP. Demand it.
Yeah. Well, we'll give it a go.
Worth a try.
What the fuck
Better
that?
this shit.
I would call it Pretoria.
Yeah.
It's
That
a
bloke, Sealand, wasn't it?
I don't know. It's a Sealand.
Yeah.
You
He
can
declared
do.
himself an independent state, didn't he?
Yeah, it's an old air defence platform out in the Channel.
Rusting to fuck, isn't it?
It is, but he's because it's in international waters nowadays. It's allowed to be. It's its own country called Sealand. It's got like 45 people live there.
That many?
I think it might be. Yeah, it's a big thing.
Isn't that big?
I'm sure there's. It's just his family, but it was taken
Yeah, I
off
think
by
it's just his
terrorists and
family.
everything.
Yeah.
I'd
We have to do an episode
Fort
on that.
Boyard.
It's just something similar to
Yeah.
that,
Fort Boyard
basically.
would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll do an episode on Sealand. At some point.
Fort Boyard was one with Melinda Messenger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been stuck out in a fort with her.
Yeah.
On that note,
On that note, thanks very much for listening. I've been Ben. Don't drink the flavour, don't join a cult. I can't remember what fucking article I read, so there you go.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
well, I've been Claire. Don't run over your major
Yeah.
In a tank.
in a tank. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Alright.
Or do, actually. If he's a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been Pete. Stick me on Fort Boyard with Melinda Messenger anytime.
You're still on that?
Yeah. He hasn't left it, Claire.
No, that's all I can see right now. My mind.
Oh, and watch out for the microplastics, they'll get you.
Well.
I don't mind if I'm with Melinda.